Welcome all the devotees for today's session on Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll start with prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tata Jayam Udirek Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. Today we continuing second chapter Divinity and Divine Service, Shloka number 21 and 22. One word I will recite and you also repeat after me. Vidyate Hridaya Granthi.
Vidyate
Hridaya Granthi.
Vidyante Sarva Sanshaya.
Siddhyante Sarva Samshaya.
Shriyante Asya Karmani.
Shriyante Chasya Karmani.
Drushta eva Atmani Ishvare.
Drishta eva Atmani
Atha vai kavaya nityam.
Adho vai kavayo
nityam.
Bhaktim paramaya muda.
Bhaktim paramaya muda.
Vasudeve Bhagavati.
Vasudeve Bhagavati.
Kurvanti Atma Prasadanim.
Kurvanti Atma Prasadanim.
Vidyate Hridaya Granthi.
Vidyate Hridaya Granthi.
Vidyante Sarva Sanshaya.
Vidyante Sarva Samshaya.
Shriyante Chasya Karmani.
Shriyante Sasya Karmani.
Drushta eva Atmani Ishvare.
Drishta eva Atmanishvare.
Atah vai kavaya nityam.
Ato vai kavayo nityam.
Bhaktim paramaya muda.
Bhaktim paramaya muda.
Vasudeve Bhagavati Kurvanti.
Vasudeve Bhagavati Kurvanti.
Atma Prasadanim.
Atma Prasadanim.
Please recite soon. No
Hare
time
Krishna.
wasting. One by one recite.
Yes, we can start with Ashish Prabhuji alphabetically.
Yes.
Ashish Prabhuji, then Rajeshwari Mataji, then Sridhar Prabhuji, then Dr. Karpagavli, and then me.
Vidyate Hridaya Granthi. Siddhyante Sarva Samshaya. Shriyante Chasya Karmani. Drashta evatmani sware. Ato vai kavayo nityam. Bhaktim paramaya muda. Vasudeve Bhagavate Kurvanti. Atma Prasadananim.
Ato or kavayo, like you ucharing. Atah vai kavayo. Everyone who can knit heart. Atah vai kavayo. And like that you recite. Then who is Sridhar Prabhuji, please no waste time.
Vidyante Hridaya Granthis Chityante Sarva Samshaya. Shriyante Sasya Karmani. Drishta eva Atmanishvare. Adho vai kavayo nityam. Bhaktim paramaya muda. Vasudevo Bhagavati Kurvanti Atma Prasadanim. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I will tell now. Atah vai kavayah, like we recite. But you again take mistake. Ato vai kavayo. Please, no, anyone not doing such mistake. Then who is
अथवै
reciting?
कवयः
Who is reciting?
Pagavli Mataji. Then my chance now.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I didn't follow that one. No, sorry, Prabhuji.
Okay, I'll read once.
With
Vidyate,
you.
yeah. Vidyate hridaya granthi chidyante
Vidyate
sarva
hridaya
samshaya.
granthi
Chidyante sarva samshaya.
chidyante sarva samsaya
Kriyante chasya karmani.
yasyante chasya karmani
Drushta eva atmana ishvare.
Atmani
drishta
Ishware.
drishta atmani ishware
अतः वै कवयः नित्यं
ato vai kavayo nityam
भक्तिं
Atah vai
परमया
kavayah.
मुदा
ato vai kavayah nityam
भक्तिं परमया मुदा
bhaktim paramaya mudam
वासुदेवे भगवती
वासुदेवे भगवते
कुर्वन्ति आत्मप्रसादनीम्.
kurvanti atma prasadanim. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Dandatnam. Bantaji, Prabhuji.
Word to word meaning. Bhidate pierce, Hrudaya heart, Granthi knots, Chidyante cut to pieces, Sarva all, Saunshaya misgiving, Kshiyante terminated, Cha and Asya his, Karmani chain of fruitive action, Drushte having seen, Eva certainly, Atmani unto the self, Ishvare dominating, Atah therefore, why certainly, Kavayah, all transcendentalists, Nityam, from time immemorial, Bhaktim, service unto the Lord, Paramaya, supreme, Muda, with great delight, Vasudeva, Sri Krishna, Bhagavati, the personality of Godhead, Kurvanti, do render, Atma, self, the Prasadanim, that which enlivens. Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of reactions is terminated when one sees the self as master. Certainly, therefore, since time immemorial, or transcendentalists have been rendering devotional service to Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, with great delight, because such devotional service in enlivened to the self. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Attaining scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead means seeing one's own self simultaneously. As far as the identity of the living being as spirit self is concerned, there are a number of speculations and misgivings. The materialist does not believe in the existence of the spirit self, and empiric philosophers believe in the impersonal feature of the whole spirit without individuality of the living beings. But the transcendentalists affirm that the soul and the supersoul are two different identities, qualitatively one but quantitatively different. There are many other theories, but all these different speculations are at once cleared up as soon as Sri Krishna is realized in truth by the process of Bhakti Yoga. Sri Krishna is like the sun, and the materialistic speculation about the absolute truth are like the darkest midnight. As soon as the Krishna sun is arisen within one's heart, the darkness of materialistic speculation about the absolute truth and the living being is at once cleared up in the presence of the sun. The darkness cannot stand, and the relative truth that were hidden within the dense darkness of ignorance become clearly manifested by the mercy of Krishna, who is residing in everyone's heart as the super soul. In the Bhagavad Gita 10.11, the Lord says that in order to show special favor to his pure devotees, he personally eradicates the dense darkness of all misgiving by switching on the light of pure knowledge within the heart of a devotee. Therefore, because of the personality of Godhead's taking charge of illuminating the heart of his devotee, certainly a devotee engaged in his service in transcendental love cannot remain in darkness. He comes to know everything of the absolute and the relative truth. The devotee cannot remain in darkness, and because a devotee is enlightened by the personality of Godhead, this knowledge is certainly perfect. This is not the case for those who speculate on the absolute truth by dint of their own limited power of approach. Perfect knowledge is called parampara or deductive knowledge coming down from the authority to the submissive or a receiver who is bona fide by service and surrender. One cannot challenge the authority of the Supreme and know him also at the same time. He reserved the right of not being exposed to such a challenging spirit of an insignificant spark of the whole, a spark subjected to the control of illusory energy. The devotees are submissive, and therefore the transcendental knowledge descend from the personality of Godhead to Brahma, and from Brahma to his son and disciples in succession. This process is helped by the supreme super soul within such devotee. That is the perfect way of learning transcendental knowledge. This enlightenment perfectly enables the devotee to distinguish spirit from matter, because the knot of spirit and matter is untied by the Lord. This knot is called ahankar and is falsely obliges a living being to become identified with matter. As soon as this knot is loosened, therefore all the clouds of doubt are at once cleared off. Once he is master and fully engage himself in the transcendental living service of the Lord, making a full termination of the chain of fruitive action. In material existence, a living being creates his own chain of fruitive work and enjoy the good and bad effects of those actions life after life. But as soon as he engages himself in the loving service of the Lord, he at once becomes free from the chain of karma. His actions no longer create any reaction. The speciality of devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, is specifically mentioned here. Lord Krishna is the Swayam Rupa personality of Godhead, and all other forms of Godhead beginning from Sri Baladeva, Sankarshan, Vasudev, Aniruddha, Pradyumna and Narayan, and extending to the Purush Avtara, Guda Avtara, Lila Avtaras, Yuga Avtaras, and many other thousands of manifestation of the personality of Godhead. Our Lord Sri Krishna's plenary portion, integrated parts. The living entities are separated parts and parcels of the personality of Godhead. Therefore, Lord Sri Krishna is the original form of Godhead, and he is the last word in the transcendence. Thus, he is more attractive to the higher transcendentalists who participate in the eternal pastimes of the Lord in form of the personality of Godhead, other than Sri Krishna and Baldeva. There is no facility for intimate personal contact as in the transcendental pastimes of the Lord at Brajabhumi. The transcendental pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna are not newly accepted as argued by some less intelligent person. His pastimes are eternal and are manifested in due course once in a day of Brahmaji, as the sun rises on the eastern horizon at the end of every 24 hours. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Nama Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru श्रीयुत पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिने ते नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात देशतारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 krishna. In these two shlokas of second chapter 21 and 22 describe about the how we uh, 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 cut off the knot of the chain of fruity actions, and how we see supreme personality in our heart. And for that they giving the shloka number of Bhagavad Gita's 10.11. तेषामेव कंपार्थम अहम अज्ञानजम तम नाशयामि आत्मभावस्त ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वत. If we're taking the shelter of supreme personality of Godhead and we're doing our tapasya, we're doing the service of the Lord, then Swayam himself, Lord, gives us the knowledge of the transcendental about the Lord. And due to that knowledge and doing service, both are important for to achieve our aim. What is our aim? Our aim is to achieve the Krishna's prem and abode of the Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji will tell you in detail. Anchakalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhubhe Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo
Hare
Namo Namah.
Krishna, Hare Krishna. I hope I am audible and the background disturbance is not
Yes,
too
yes,
high.
yes,
Yeah, I'm audible, hopefully, right? Hare Krishna.
yes.
So, complete liberated state is what this shloka is talking about. So in previous verse, it was said, Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate. That is science of God, Bhagavad Tattva, becomes manifest to the liberated soul. So this is what we have to achieve. Mukta Sangaha. So there are many different tests, small tests by which we can understand if someone has actually understood spiritual life and reached that spiritual level. Otherwise, what happens? Anartha nivrutti syataha. Things that are not wanted, which has no meaning, so they keep on there. So when one is actually liberated, these are the signs that we come. Vidyate hridaya granthi. That is, our material life, which has begun by the knot in the heart, that gets reduced. The initial knot is of the indriya trupti, that is sexual desires. So slowly and steadily, those knots are getting reduced. Vidyate hridaya granthi. And that is why, if you see the Vedic civilization, it has asked that the very first teachings to a student has to be brahmachari. How not to become attached to the sexual life. Tapasya brahmacharena. So tapasaha to brahmachari, to become brahmachari. That is the first teaching. But unfortunately, in today's world, it is exactly different because of the effects of Maya. There is neither a brahmachari nor a brahmacharya. So if one takes to Krishna consciousness, by practice, one can come to the point of giving up all these unwanted things. Chidyante, vidyate, hridaya, granti. So that is what is important. Otherwise, it's punsa striyamaithuni bhavam. So Prabhupada says, Samshayaha, we are in a hazy conclusion about what is our position. We do not know. Neither we know what is God or what is our relationship with God. Everyone generally tries to just do the speculations. There are so many parties, the Dhyanis, the Yogis, the Karmis, and within each there are more sub-classifications. So two things must go on a parallel line. One side, one person should develop Krishna consciousness, and on the other side, he should parallelly give up all unwanted things. That will help. You cannot continue both things. Both of them have to be completed. Just like when a person is diseased, we as doctors give him medicine. At the same time, we tell him what is to be done, what is not to be done. So together that is treatment. Not that okay, whatever you like you eat, whatever you like you don't. No, that's not the way treatment is done. So similarly here, both these activities need to continue simultaneously. That is our Krishna consciousness and getting detached from all unwanted activities. So when we talk about tyagena ham, so tyagena means renouncement. Like we may like something, but we have to voluntarily give it up. Then that is tyagaha. And when that happens, then Krishna helps to become qualified in the spiritual matters. So we have to take to Krishna consciousness and start questions why I shall do this, why I shall do that. Try to get those resolved. And the moment we get raised to the platform of goodness, then this is what we get as mentioned in this particular shloka. So all our bindings with the material existence because of our karma, they get solved. Because we are perplexed in this body and we are preparing for the next body. Karmana deva netrena. So there are multiple types of bodies depending upon our karma. So it is necessary that we stop this karma. So how can we do it? Yagyarthe karmana anyatra karma bandhana. If we simply act for Krishna, then we get rid of the resultant action of karma. So indirectly what is mentioned is we have to act for Krishna. Otherwise it is not possible. Evam prasanna manasa bhagavad bhakti yogataha. This is what we studied in the shloka yesterday. We can stand liberated on the platform of devotional service. As soon as we deviate from bhakti, immediately the Maya is standing. She will capture us. Maya is very strong because she is also energy of Krishna. Now, shadow means absence of sunshine. So, if you are in Krishna consciousness, there is no shadow of Maya. Otherwise, Maya comes. As was mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Andhakar. Yaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Randhikar. So let us not succumb to Maya. That is very much important. We should always have the light of this Krishna in our life. And when we have this life of Krishna in our life, then nothing can deviate us from our path or road, our destination, which is Golok Vrindavan. So that is importance of the sloka. Then Prabhupada ji says, Bhaktim Atma Prasadanam. Devotional service is Atma, that is self, or maybe mind. So Atma Prasadani means if you want to satisfy our mind, if you want to satisfy ourselves, then what we have to do? So we are basically living in three stages: the bodily concept of life, the mental concept of life, and the spiritual concept of life. And considering all these three stages, we have to understand the aspects. Those who are grossly in ignorance, they are thinking in terms of bodily concept. Those who are little advanced, they'll think of mental or psychological concept. But those who are most advanced, they are thinking in terms of spiritual concept of life, which is explained here, which we also saw in the 11th shloka of this chapter. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tat. Tattva means truth. The truth is spirit, not matter. Matter is subordinate to spirit. On the basis of spirit, the matter grows. just like our body has grown on the basis of our spiritual existence. So spiritual realization is the ultimate goal of our life. जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा न अर्थ यह च इह कर्म भी. So this also we discussed when we were talking about this shloka. So we have to realize the three transcendental subjects, which are those Brahmeti, Paramatmaiti, Bhagavan iti, Shabdate. So ultimately, one has to reach the platform of Bhagavan. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So one who understands to the point of understanding Krishna, he is perfect Mahatma. So one who has reached to point of supreme personality of Godhead. That is what we have to receive. And that is why it is said, Mat Sevam Dwaram Ahu Vimukte Tamodwaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. There are two ways our life is going on. One is liberation and the other is bondage. Like when we are seeing any reel of movie, it is rolling. So it is rolling to roll the thread, and another is giving way to the thread. So same reel. Similarly, we can lead our life in two ways, either towards liberation or towards darkness of bondage. That is something which we have to decide. Andha yata andhe upaniyamanaha. If we take a rightful decision, then we can move towards the brightness, the illumination of Krishna. And that is what we are supposed to be doing, and that is what is stressed in this second chapter as well, right in the starting. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janati Ashu Vairagyam Dhanam Chayad Ahetukam. This came in the seventh shloka itself. So, Janayati Ashu Vairagyam. Ashu, very soon one becomes detached from this material bondage. And the jnana, knowledge, real knowledge comes up. In material life, that is the cause of bondage. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has clearly said, Anitya samsare mohojana miya jada vidya jayo maya bhava. Material knowledge, advancement of material knowledge, it's more and more bondage. And advancement of spiritual knowledge means more and more liberation. And so, just like our seniors, our spiritual gurus, the Guru Parampara, we have to be always happy in Krishna. Krishna Katha. Krishna says Mamiti. If we are doing it, then we'll definitely go to him. Krishna's Nitya Leela has been described in Charitamrita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. How Krishna's Nitya Leela is going on. Krishna is there in Bhauma Leela, in one of the universes every time. So we have to understand all these aspects. Always surrender to Krishna and follow his instructions. So if we actually want happiness, then we must dovetail our activities, devotional service with Krishna, Vasudeva. Vasudeva Bhagavati Kurvanti Atma Prasada. It is for our interest. It is not for Krishna's interest. Krishna can create millions of living entities like us. He does not require our service. He is complete. But if we want our satisfaction, then Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhaktim Kurvanti Ahetukim. Then we'll have to dovetail ourselves in devotional service to Krishna. That is intelligence. Otherwise, we are all fools. We'll keep on doing our foolishness continuously. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Please repeat.